prayer on second page, 3 times on English. May all beings enjoy happiness and the causes of happiness. May all be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all beings never be apart from the supreme bliss which is free of all suffering. May all sentient beings live in great equanimity, free from the attachment and aversions that keep some close and other distant. May all beings enjoy happiness and the causes of happiness. May all be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all beings never be apart from the supreme bliss which is free of all suffering. May all sentient beings live in great equanimity, free from the attachment and aversions that keep some close and other distant. May all beings enjoy happiness and the causes of happiness. May all be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. May all beings never be apart from the supreme bliss which is free of all suffering. May all sentient beings live in great equanimity, free from the attachment and aversions that keep some close and other distant. Okay, so now we are going to talking about the 37 practices of path of Bodhisattva. So this teaching we can divide into 3 outlines: the virtues of begin, the virtues of actual, the virtues of the end. So we have gone the first part, so now we are going in the virtues of the actual part. And then this actual teaching, again, we can divide into these 3 stages, which is the preliminary teachings, the actual practice, the teachings, and the conclusion, percept practice teachings. So we have gone the first part. So now we are going on the, we have gone the first 2. Now we are going on the third, the conclusion, the percept practice teachings. So now this third, the conclusion, the percept practice, again we can divide into there's 5 stages. So the first, now we are going on the first stages. The first section, again we can division into there's 6 aspect or 6 stages, 6-fold, which means the 6 perfections or 6 paranjana. So these 6 perfection is as the generation, the perfection of a generation stage, the perfection of the generosity, and the perfection of morality conduct, the perfection of effort, the perfection of Mettaton Concentration, the perfection of the wisdom. So we have gone the first part, the first perfection yesterday, the perfection of generosity. So now we are today going on the second stages, or the second perfections, the perfections of the morality conduct. So this is from the verse 26th. I mentioned this perfection, the 6th perfection is the actual method for collection merits and for collection wisdom, because if we have already generated the bodhicitta mind, then which meant is we are already promised to benefit sentient beings for achievement of Buddhahood. So in this case, we need to must be collective the right cause and right conditions. Without cause and without conditions cannot be automatically and causelessly cannot be achievement Buddhahood. So in this way, they have many different ways to collection merits and wisdoms, the method, but and briefly there's two. One is merits, one is wisdom. So these six perfection, the six paranjana paramita, first five is the main method for collection merits, and the sixth, the last part, perfection, is the specific method for collection of wisdom. So anyway, now is here's the second perfection we're going now, the perfection of a morality conduct. Here, if lack of discipline prevents you from benefiting yourselves, then your wish to benefit others is just a joke. Therefore, to observe discipline with no longing for worldly existence is the practice of Bodhisattva. So, which means is if lack of discipline, the perfection of the morality conduct, then even you cannot do benefit you yourself without the morality conduct. Morality conduct we can division into maybe there's and briefly it's three different categories, three types of different categories, which is the discipline for avoiding negative actions, and discipline the moral conduct of cultivating on the positive actions or virtues, and the moral conduct of benefit to other sentient beings. So these three different aspects. So the first one is the moral conduct with of avoiding negative actions. That is like, for example, 10 negative actions. Somebody, if you holding the moral conduct of vows, vow holders, and the Bodhisattva path followers, at least first you must be firstly to stop or to avoid the 10 negative actions, which is the killing, stealing, and sexual misconduct from body, and lying, slander, harmful speech, and the adult comes from speech, and then is covetousness, harmful thought, holding wrong views are the three negative actions comes from our heart. So that is the first aspect of the moral conduct of vow. And then on top of this, and then the second is the cultivating of the virtues. Means is that, and the last we need to collective the 10 virtues for benefit yourself and for benefit others. The 10 virtue is as the contrary, the opposite of the 10 negative actions: to save others' life, to do generosity, giving, and to receive the discipline, the right excellent vows, and to tell truly, and to speak gently, and to reconciliation others the problems, and to talk meaningful. That these four comes from our speech, and to do meditate the giving meditations, and to do meditate with compassion and loving kindness, and to do to found the right views, holding the right views. So these are, we said, 10 positive or 10 supreme virtues or 10 great virtues. So on, so forth. So any kind of practices, collection the practices for benefit you, benefit others. And then on top, these first two, why we are avoiding 10 negative actions, why we cultivating 10 virtues. The main purpose for benefit other mother sentient beings till emptying samsara, and therefore for one to achievement state as soon as possible of the Buddhahood. That is the third aspect of the moral conduct vows. So they have many different aspects. Anyway, so if you lack, even if the moral conduct vows, even you cannot benefit yourself, even you cannot see yourself falling in the unfortunate three low realms. So, and then here says, then your wish to, because your means we are of the Mahayana practitioners, so therefore our aim is benefit to others, but wish to benefit others is just a joke, because if you can liberate for yourself from the even lower realms, and then how can you lead them to liberate? It's just joke. So therefore, to observe the discipline with no longing for worldly existence. That means is the pure moral conduct vow. We're talking here the discipline, the pure, excellent, the moral conduct, the perfections. So this is without any hesitations. Only is you just want to benefit to others. That is only your purpose. That is here, because normally ordinaries sometimes they are doing such the discipline, moral conduct, the perfections, but they're thinking about for retrain some result, good result for themselves, become long life, or maybe healthy life, or peaceful life, or something, become rich, or become famous, to become famous, or so forth. This is the attachment to this life. So this kind of the moral conduct vows with this motivation is not very authentic, not really pure. And then even if the sum is the moral conduct practice is for just immediate next rebirth free from lower realm, and just immediate next rebirth they want to reborn again in the higher, in the human or God's realm, and then their attachment to the temporary enjoyment in the desire realm or God's realms. So that is only the purpose. Then the discipline, the perfection of discipline of this, not really still yet completely pure, not really authentic, the perfect one yet. And then even if your moral conduct was for yourself freedom from samsara, and yourself will be yourself and the achievement state of the nirvana arhat, that is only your motivation, and then your disciplining the practice of with this perfection is still not completely the extremely excellent one, because we are talking about the Mahayana tradition. So Mahayana tradition's Bodhisattvas' main motivation is always is for benefit other sentient beings. So in this case here, say discipline with no longing for worldly existence. Okay, as beyond of worldly the path, or beyond of worldly for benefit each others. That is the practice of a Bodhisattva. So actually, why we are born in this higher fortune realm, they have many different causes, many different kind of cause, and many different conditions, but the actual causes to achievement these higher realms, our pastime, the life of our pastime, we have list enough the ones of our lives we had accumulated merits with this discipline, the moral conduct, the vows. So on top, and then we have enough dedication prayers, aspiration prayers, we born higher realm, and the end we born in here. So therefore it's for lest, even if you are not really authentic these perfection practitioners of this discipline, but at least we need to responsibility to reborn higher realms, next rebirth again, at least. Anyway, that's one. And then next now is the third perfection, the perfection of and the patience, the perfection of patience. So the perfection of patience. This is for the 20 from the 27th, the verse of 27th. For a bodhisattva who seek a wealth of virtues, every harm perpetrator is like a precious treasures. Therefore, without feeling irritations to all, to cultivate patience is the practice of a bodhisattva. So, this passion, we can say maybe this the perfection of passion, and briefly we can maybe divide into this three different aspects. Patience for harming from others, patience with facing to the hardships of dharma activities, patience for to bear facing about of the profound meaning of the teachings. There's three different aspects. So here is just directly what the explanation on this verse is. The first one, the patience from the patience with others, from the harming from others. That is a key point here, because normally, ordinary way, when somebody harming to us, somebody cheating us, or beating us, or so forth, and then we just immediately, as much we can try, retaliating to them, or revenge to them. That is ordinary people's perception and the perceptions, But if you are the Mahayana Bodhisattva followers, and particularly you want to collection merits, and then this passion is the practice of the perfection of passion is at the chance, the very skillful method, the chance for collection merits. Because for Buddhahood, you must need to complete it, the collection of merits with these 6 perfections and the wisdom. Because if you missing one perfections of these 6 paramita, paranjana paramita, then it's not possible for Buddhahood. Somebody already achieved Buddhahood, that means is they have already completed the collection merits with these 6 perfections, So in this way, no questions, how you can collection merits with the perfection of the practice with the perfection of patience. There's the questions. So what is the object, the chance, the object of the practice of the perfection, the object of perfections, the perfection of the patience? Only when appears the obstacles for you, or when there's somebody harming to you, somebody there's disturb for you, that is only the chance for the collection merits with of the perfection of patience. If there are nobody, you have no chance. Never is a harm. There's nobody harming to you. Never. Nobody disturb for you. Never. As nobody hurt you. Never. Nobody harming to you. Never. And then you have ever you have no chance to collection merits with of the patience. Perfection of patience. That is very clear. So therefore, we need to know is when you have some problems from others harming to you, and that times do not be angry. That says, do not be angry, do not be sad. You must be rejoice about this. That is the chance, because for collection merits, that is only the possibility, the chance, because your practice collection merits patience. You cannot with Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, and the spiritual friend, spiritual masters, and the good friend, so forth. There's no chance. Only is the practice of the patience from harming beings. Only the others harming. That is only the way. So therefore, need to understand the patience with the harming from others. That's one. And the second aspect, the patience, we say facing to the hardships of Dharma. That means this passion is different than the first aspect, because when you go and practice Dharma, you don't think it's a very beginning. It's just you think it's the Dharma activity is very easy. Learning, starting meditation practice is very easy. And then to achievement the state of the enlightenment or Buddhahood is very easy something. If you're thinking like this, then that's totally wrong. And then you enter into the path of Dharma, then you will get so many hardships, the coming, many things, obstacles or so forth. You need many patience, many effort, You must be to bear about such many different kind of obstacles appears in the way. Or you must be to bear many the hardships when they're coming for Dharma activities. Must be. So, therefore, very beginning, when you start enter into the Dharma, that times you need to very strong courage or strong confidence to propose when to prepare you from heart. I'm sure in the way Dharma is coming many hardships, but I must be to bear. I must to face, because I'm going to benefit to all mother sentient beings. I'm responsible to benefit to sentient beings, lead to the enlightenment, tail emptying samsara. I'm not going to the responsibility to benefit myself alone in this life. Even if somebody just they take care on themselves of this life only, but still need so many different kind of hardships. So many hardships there with it. Not easy. Even the temporary moment, happiness, enjoyment, to achievement yourself alone, still you need so many effort. You need so many patience to the face of the temporary hardships. Of course, there's no need to say to need patience to achievement Buddhahood for sentient beings. So this is very important, very beginning. So especially we need to understand the Dharma practitioners. We are very beginning is we are enter into the causes of your purpose. We yet not achievement state of the result of your purpose. This is very different. So because what I'm talking this is we says Dharma is nice, good, and become happy, enjoy, peaceful, something, relaxation, and free from suffering, free obstacles, completely will be achievement, ultimate peace, happiness. We always talking like that, and then you are very new to listen this first. Oh, so Dharma is very wonderful, very beautiful, looks very nice. I want to achievement state like the ultimate peace, enjoyment at the moments, a son. So just there. But actually not like that simple, not like that easy. The purpose to achievement, the purpose, And then you enter into the Dharma 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 month. Maybe you have a little bit more effort than maybe it's 1 year. But not really it's like that easy to achievement state of the purpose of the enlightenment or the ultimate peace still, And then you may be angry to the Dharma. Maybe you upset with of your teacher or your lineages. Something maybe what you hear very beginning is a very nice talk, but in the meantime not like that very simple easy. That is the very beginning you misunderstanding. Because you should be to understand we are enter into the on the causes. Like the farmer. Somebody teaching to the farmers. How good if you could to field the everything, the red seed and the red field and the red work. Something is, if you take care as a responsibility to your the field, everything is needed, cause and conditions, and then as that very good for you, you can get so many the crops, as coming something, the result, like this we talk, it's just very nice, right? And then they're thinking, oh, that is very simple, very easy, and try to get very the repent so many the result, fruitions, and the coming in this week and this month, but that's almost not possible unless you take time. Maybe you waiting is 4 seasons, or maybe a couple of years. Some fruits is you need to waiting is several years. Not it like that, But still, what was says is true, but you need patience, So the farmer. So because very beginning farmer going to the plants, that times that's no possible. The enjoyment of your fruits, because not yet repent the fruits, because you are on your activities on the causes of your future fruits. Not yet we are on the of the result fully repent, Not that's the time. But still as a farmer they can to bear, they can to face about hardships to the plants, because he or she know is that is not the time to enjoyment. But is the coming enjoyment is in the autumn season or maybe next year or whenever the depend to the plant, So likewise, the Dharma activity practitioners, you should be to know is the actual ultimate peace is coming and when they repent the result future. So therefore, we are now on the collection of the merits and wisdom is meant which is the cause, and we are going to collecting of cause and conditions of your purpose, So therefore, you need to must be patient. You need to effort, So even physically, you have very hardships or need with hardships, but mentally, still you can enjoy about these activities. You can rejoice about your activities mentally, like farmer. Farmer happily can go into plants, not very sadly, Same, because they know in the autumn season what coming, the fruitions. So like this. So anyway, that's the one important to know how to bear the facing to the hardships of Dharma activity. That's very important. And then the third aspect of the patience, we need to know how to bear or face to the profound teaching, or profound meaning of the teachings, the Dharma, which means is that the subject of Dharma could be they have many levels. Some is very simple, very brief, easy, you understand, very common, the explanations, like 10 virtues, 10 non-virtues, or something like we're talking about, or the something very common traditions, and not like that difficult to understand, But still you need patience to understand. Compare of the non-practitioners, compare of non-Buddhist traditions of followers, then you need to more patience to understand the Buddhism, the common practice, dharmas even. But if you had already entered into the common of Buddha's teachings, but still you need patience to face the more profound meaning of the high school, like Mahayana teachings. You need to patience. If you are enter into the Hinayana traditions, then you need patience to face to the teachings of the Mahayana. If you are already entered into the Mahayana, but still is Mahayana, there's Sutra and Tantra, but you are the Sutra practitioners, you need to face, the forcefully, you must be faced to the more profound, more extensive, more vast meaning about of the Tantra, Otherwise, you have problems coming. But even you are entered into the already in the path of Tantra, but the sub-school Tantra, and then you must need to prepare from your heart to how face to the high school Tantra. It's because more deep, more extensive, more vast, and more profound than the sub-school Tantra. Even if you are something is the practitioners of both of Sutra and Tantra, the high school Tantra, but still if you yet not enter into the path of the great perfection like Zopa Chimbo, and then you need also a preparation from your heart, how to face, how to patience, to facing about the most of the excellent and the profound, the finality, Buddha's, the instruction teaching of the great perfection, Zopa Chimbo. So therefore, there are many Buddha's teachings that have many levels. So you need to preparation from your heart. What do you understand? You must be rejoice. You must be keep your practice. But many things is in the moments maybe it's too high or too deep to understand. But you must be patient with you keep your respect. Respect to honor or respect to of these highest the teachings. Otherwise, as a holding wrong view, following the extremes of a wrong view is coming. It's very dangerous, If you angry the deep teachings or something is you have something like compelling to the deeper the instructions also for the teachings, and then that means is you have false with holding wrong views, very strong negative. That's very dangerous, So anyway, They have three different kind of aspect of the patience. So however, here is that directly they says, for a Bodhisattva who say the wealth of virtue, you want to collection of virtues. So the chance here, every harm and the perpetrator is like a precious treasure. Somebody want to become rich, and then they found treasures, and then must be happy. So same like that. Therefore, without feeling the irritation to all to cultivate patience is the practice of a Bodhisattva. This is perfection, the third perfection of the patience or tolerance, we can say sometimes. It's important. And then the next, now, the verse 28, or the fourth aspect of these 6 stages, 6 perfections, the fourth perfection, the perfection of diligence or the effort. So let's recheck this. If Sharavakas and Partika Buddhas who strive for their benefit alone expend effort as of extinguish a fire burning on their head to cultivate joyous effort, the wellspring of positive qualities is the practice of a Bodhisattva. So here an examples, even the Sharavaka, the Sanskrit language, but the Hirayana tradition followers, and Partika Buddha is the solitary realization tradition followers. These both are the Hinayana tradition of Buddhism. Because why they choose one and this example? Because have very effort, very much. They had very strong. They must be with a very strong effort. Because they want to liberation from samsara, and they want to achieve nirvana as soon as possible of today, for example. So therefore, they doesn't want to wasting he or her normal life. The life doesn't want to wasting into with the normal life, So ours is going to find the way how to liberate, but the motivation is only himself or herself will be achievement state of nirvana. Main motivation is why he want to achievement nirvana is the main motivation is not for benefit other mother sentient beings, because they have no this courage. They're lacking this courage, highest courage. They have no this highest the confidence, because that is the part of medium beings, not part of great beings. But still, how much effort, that is the point here. Still, even they just themselves alone want to achieve Buddhahood, not Buddhahood, sorry, the Arhat, Nirvana, but still is how much the effort strong. So our motivation is not only benefit yourself achievement Nirvana alone, but we responsibility, the primary commitment to benefit all other mother sentient beings. Numberless sentient beings. Also, the time is not only one day, 1 month, one life. Live after of another life till emptying samsara. And then also our purpose also is the achievement state is not only nirvana, arhat, is we are the Bodhisattvas' main motivation is the main final purpose is a goal is will be achievement state of completely enlightenment of Buddhahood. So it's very different than the Hinayana traditions. Everything's So therefore, of course, we no need to say need effort. That is the point. Even like the Hirayana, solitary realizations, they also how much they need effort to achievement this purpose. So our purpose is very different. So therefore, our activity, our effort, our more. We need to more. The strong than these practitioners. That's the point here. So to cultivate joyous effort, the wellspring of positive qualities for all sentient beings, maybe missing one part of the own Tibetan translation into English, maybe we say, as positive qualities for all sentient beings. That is the difference for the Mahayana traditions, So is the practice of a Bodhisattva. And then the perfection of effort, again we can maybe invariably we can say there's three different aspects, divided into three different categories of the perfection of this effort. One is we say the diligence, armor-like diligence or effort, and then aspiration was the diligence of constant diligence, and then is the unstoppable the diligence, or something unsatisfaction stage of the diligence. So that means the first one, armor-like means is the effort, the perfection, the effort. The definition of effort is must be you have very confidence. You need to generate very high confidence, high courage. If you lack confidence, if you lack completely the courage, or means very low courage, or discourage it, motivation for your practice, coming futures, and then you cannot do much. Like somebody going to the soldier, the army, they want to go to war, and the very beginning they must be prepared to very deeply on the heart as a very strong courage, confident to win, as for enemies, from the enemies or from the war, So therefore, is they try to take the red protections or red weapons, what they needed, they prepare everything. That's armor. We say armor-like diligence, very beginning. If you prepare, you have very strong courage and very strong everything. The protections, the armors as a red, you have strong armors. Then you have chance to maybe 80%, 90% you will be win. You become will be won from the war or from the fighting, for example. But if you very lazy, very beginning, is everything they have not correct, not excellent, and your motivation, your courage very low, confidence very low, and the preparation is not good. The armor, you have not wearing the red armors, not carrying the red weapons or so forth. Then almost you have no chance to win. You will be lose your war, or your fighting, for example. So therefore, it's the end. No matter what kind you want to practice Dharma, no matter what kind of aspect of your Dharma, but very beginning, like armor-like diligence, you need to keep the red motivation, the happily, and joyfully to start, as your practice. That is armor-like diligence. And then is the second aspect is the instead. So means is the non-stopped or unstopped it. Every day, each week, each month, each year, or weekly, the daily, weekly, monthly, and yearly. Keep your intention to in the Dharma, or something is thinking about your motivation, and keep your cultivating the physical actions. Both are weekly, monthly, yearly. Otherwise, only when you have comfortable feeling on something nice weather and the health, your body and the moment, that times you try to do maybe 1 day or 2 days or 1 week. And then if they change temperature or change your feeling, emotions, and change around the situations, and then you live totally in the out of this activity of your Dharma, this person cannot do so much, But still it's good if you something try, but not your power is not very strong, because that is easily coming the laziness, the opposite of the effort, So therefore we need to continue effort. That is. And then is the unsatisfaction. Unsatisfaction does not mean your effort is not unsatisfaction, but is you do not be stop, do not be satisfied, because sometimes people say, okay, now it's enough. My practice, my learning, my studies, because I did it's 1 month or 1 year or something. Is maybe it's 5 years or 10 years. Say, okay, now I should be changed something. I should be stopped. It's quite enough my activity for practice dharma or benefit to sending being something. But it's totally wrong, actually. What is the state of the final stages? Is when you will be achievement state of your purpose, completed. That is the end of your effort, because your effort meant, why are you going this very effort, the forcefully, why are you doing this? Then the answer is because you have two different aims. Want to benefit other beings, therefore you want to achievement state of ultimate peace, or the complete enlightenment, omniscience. And then ask, have you yet the achievement these stages, your purpose? Say no. That means is therefore you need effort continuously, So anyway, so this is the perfection of generosity, the effort. Sorry, the next explanation, misexplanation. So anyway, this effort. Perfection of effort, not the generosity. And then the fifth perfection, the perfection of meditative concentration, or the perfection of samadhi. These is perfections, again, can be, maybe we divide into there's 3 different aspects. The perfection of the samadhi, or the Mettaton concentrations. The Mettaton concentration of ordinary, closer to the enjoyment, Mettaton concentration of ordinary. And the Mettaton concentration of discriminative wisdom mind. And meditative concentration of the Tathagata joys, or Buddha's enjoyment. So these 3, which means is the first one, ordinary Shimada meditation, samadhi meditation. That is just like calm abiding meditation, very common meditations. Have no any connections to the of vipassana. Only Samatha. Also have no motivations to achievement of nirvana or Buddhahood, but only as yourself is become as freedom from the distraction, the coarse level of ordinaries, like the monkey mind or jumping ants monkey mind. We want to let it be to come down, or freedom, something. Or you want to temporary moment of the distraction mind, you want to freedom from the temporary distraction mind. Or maybe you want to achievement state, next rebirth or future, is the state of the qualities, Mettaton concentration qualities of form realm. Mettaton concentrations, you will want to achievement state of formless realm, but still samsara, That means you have attachment to the samsara. So anyway, this kind meditation is, we say, ordinary, the enjoyment, the Mettaton concentration enjoyment to the closer of ordinary Mettaton concentrations. This is the modern way, not super modern way, because this can lead you onto the higher, on the form realm and formless realm, but cannot towards to the lead in the nirvana, no possible, because we thought of the wisdom, special insight, only karma abiding meditation. So this could be the stairs, karma, but this karma is, we say, immovable karma, unmutable karma. So immovable karma lead you towards into the higher or formless realm. So that is one aspect. And then the second aspect of the Shimada meditations, which is the discriminative, this with special insight, means the union practice coming, vipassana and the Shimada. Shamatha and Vipassana become together, or union practice coming, which means is this special insight is the Shamatha is the Vipassana is not the worldly, but this is beyond of worldly. Means is the wisdom mind to realization, selflessness of self, for example, or to description to very clearly understand or distinguish clearly is the aspect of which is virtues, which is non-virtues, which is a gross level, which is the subtle level, which is the actual causes for liberation, which is the obstacles to liberation. All is logically and reasonably to found the right conviction and the certainty antidote to of liberation, or to avoid the obscuration to the liberation, to understand. And then meditate about this conviction. Meditate, focus on this certainty, that is with special insight. Shamatha meditation with special insight. Yeah. So that we say the discriminative means is wisdom mind with. So this can lead to the nirvana. This can liberate from samsara. And then on top is the shamatha, the meditation, the perfection of Mettaton concentration, Tathagata joyous. Tathagata is Buddha joyous. Means is this shamatha meditation with the unity, your meditation with the union of the special insight and the vipassana, and the calm abiding meditation of shamatha, the Mettaton concentration, both are not even like the second one, but you completely free. This Mettaton concentration is completely free from all any kind of liberation, the mind, the concepts, on non-conceptuality, equipoise, one-pointed, the equipoise mind, free from any kind of liberations, any kind of the freedom from any kind of the precept. That is the Madhyamika teachings when we go to the Bodhisattvas, when they equipoise Mettaton concentration on the realization selflessness self and selflessness of phenomena without any concept. That is a perfect shamatha meditation with the special insight together, union, because these lead you will be freedom from the falling extremes of samsara, and even you will be freedom from falling extremes of nirvana. Means is you will be achievement state, omniscience of Buddhahood, because you found the right antidote to the two obscuration of delusions and the obscuration to the of omniscient. That is your final purpose, So anyway, so they have three different stages or three different kind of aspect. But anyway, generally, we're talking here is the perfection of the Mettaton concentration or shamatha. This is also for collection merits, So vipassana are perfectly endowed with shamatha, completely conquer all afflictions. If you can, your shamatha meditation with of the vipassana special insight together, and then not only just damage to the coarse level of the affliction emotions, the just only control of the coarse level delusions, not only, but you can cleanse even the imprint of the affliction, the afflictions, and the imprint of the delusions will be gradually, even the imprint, because you have realization selflessness self, and this shamatha meditation with to realization selflessness self and selflessness of phenomena I mentioned to you just previously, So therefore, as a completely conquer all afflictions. Knowing this and the cultivate meditative concentrations that transcend the four formless states. So this means is that transcend means is beyond, or can be passing or live over of the peak of existent even in samsara, the formless realm. So the Mettaton concentration qualities achievement of the formless realm can divide into these four stages or fourfold or four different aspects of the formless realm, Mettaton concentrations. Here they say transcends the four four formless, the four aspect of formless stages, formless realm the stages, which is the aspect of Mettaton concentration, aspect of infinite space, meditative concentration, aspect of infinite of consciousness or mind, and then meditative concentration, aspect of nothingness or non-existent. And the fourth one is the fourth aspect is the Mettaton concentration, the aspect of Mettaton concentration of neither nor non-existent, or not existent nor non-existent. That is the peak of existent, the top of existent of samsara. So anyway, there's four, and briefly that we can divide into there's four different kind of aspects of Mettaton concentration on the formless realm, but still samsara. This, as I mentioned you before, the first one of these three different aspects of the Mettaton concentration, the ordinary, the closer enjoyment of Mettaton concentration of ordinary. But here it says transcend is beyond of this. Means is you can liberate from samsara. You can beyond, you can cross to the even the peak of existent. If with this vipassana and shamatha with union, if you go to practice, and then this can lead you into the nirvana. So this shamatha meditation is the excellent and perfect one. So we need to collection merits with these shamatha meditations. That one. So it is the practice of a Bodhisattva. And then the last one, the sixth perfection. The sixth perfection is the perfection of wisdom, or the Paranjana Paramita, we can say, on Sanskrit language. So the wisdom actually very important, because we need two collections. We need two collections, collection of merits and collection of wisdom. So the first five perfection, the main method for collection of merits, and the last one, the sixth perfection, is main method for collection of wisdom. We need collecting both. We need two collection of both these. Missing one of these two, merits and wisdom, I mentioned to you, we cannot achieve Buddhahood. So therefore is the last one, the sixth perfection is the wisdom here we're talking now. So let's check from the verse 30th. Verse 30th. The perfection of the first five perfections, but without wisdom cannot achieve perfect enlightenment. Equipped with skillful means and cultivating the wisdom of the non-conceptualizing the three spheres is the practice of a Bodhisattva. So the perfections of the first five we mentioned before: generosity, patience, effort, the meditative concentrations. This is the first five. Perfection is perfection, but that is the main method for merits, collection of merits. So if you're missing the last one, wisdom, then only if your practice always with very effort and patience, practice weeks, months, years, but cannot lead you to the nirvana, cannot liberate, but can lead you in rebirth higher on the human realm or God realm or form realm, formless realm, but cannot beyond of samsara. If you're missing the last one, the perfection of wisdom. So therefore, because the first five is for main method collection merits, these can support you to free the coarse level of delusion, coarse level of affliction, emotion, coarse level of anger, desire, attachment, three poisons, the coarse level karma, the negative karma you can damage, you can destroy, you can control the negative karma. But you cannot control the contaminated karma at all. So therefore you cannot freedom from samsara if you're missing the perfection of wisdom. Right? So therefore here, but without wisdom cannot achieve perfect enlightenment. Cannot. So because wisdom means is to realization, to be realization, selflessness of self, and to be realization, selflessness of phenomena. Better wisdom mind, better description wisdom mind, better intellectual, the intelligent mind. No. So therefore not easy to understand the emptiness of self and phenomena. Not easy to experiencing the emptiness of self and phenomena. As more difficult to realization true nature of selflessness of phenomena. So therefore without wisdom, so the wisdom is as the method to progress about these three stages, So therefore we need to collective wisdom with your first 5 perfections. So the wisdom, they have many different aspects, various different kind of aspects of wisdom, but briefly we can say there's 3 different categories, 3 aspects of the wisdom. Hearing wisdom, contemplation wisdom, and wisdom of meditation. These 3. So that means is we start beginning carefully to listen for emptiness teaching, for selflessness the teaching, for of the discriminative about of the interdependent of origination and emptiness, so on. First we need to carefully listen from teacher, from Buddha, or read the books or text of the emptiness teachings, so forth. That is the chance for collection wisdom with a hearing wisdom. Then if you say, is it enough only listening the emptiness talk from the teachers or so forth? No, that is not the only purpose to, but we need to get the convictions of what they taught us, the emptiness. We need to find the certainty meaning of the emptiness from the perfect logic, from perfect reasoning. So therefore you need to focus on your wisdom is cultivating your wisdom on the contemplation or the reflection of the world, the wisdom of a reflection of the world. That we say the wisdom of contemplation. Clearly, you yourself not only listening, but after listening, then you yourself to get red convictions, 100% you found the certainty. What Buddha says, what teacher says, the emptiness is true, 100% sure, something you feel. That is the conviction, the wisdom of contemplation. And then still not that is the final, not enough, because now you had already accumulated wisdom hearing and accumulated wisdom of contemplation. So therefore you have very clear understand without any doubt. You have very strong conviction arising your heart deeply. And that is certainty, the wisdom. Perfect, excellent wisdom. So now you need to meditate about this. Meditation is to become more familiar, to be more habituated what you understand. So without meditation, only hearing and contemplation, but cannot liberation, not possible. Because you need to be realization true nature, better your mind. But if you not become familiar and not become to be the habituated, will not be habituated, then you cannot realization. You cannot will realization true nature. So therefore, we first need to understand. First, we need to be experienced, and then the end, when you over and over meditation of this certainty emptiness, then you will be one day directly to realization, emptiness of selflessness person and emptiness selflessness of phenomena. So therefore, we need to collection wisdom. But without wisdom cannot achieve perfection enlightenment. So therefore, is equipped with skillful means and cultivating. The skillful means is the first 5 perfection, and then is the last the perfection of wisdom together union. That is skillful method. That is excellent, correct method to achievement your purpose of Buddhahood, of benefit yourself and benefit other sentient beings. Because yourself, benefit yourself, will be achievement state of Dharmakaya, the actual cause by the wisdom, collection of wisdom, and the actual conditions by the of collection of merits. And then benefit to other sentient beings, you will be achievement state of the form body or Rupakakaya, or Buddha's form body or Rupakakaya. As main purpose comes from the actual cause is the collection of merits, is as the actual cause to achievement benefit other sentient beings with the form body, with the form body benefit to others achievement main purpose. The main cause is the collection of merits, and the main condition is collection of wisdom. So if you lack one of these two, then you cannot achievement Buddhahood, because Buddha bodies truth and form body. Truth body benefit to yourself, and form body benefit to others. So these two different aspects of Buddha's body and one nature, indivisible, inseparability, one nature, but different aspect of truth body Dharmakaya, aspect of the form body of the Rupakakaya. So these two different result aspect is producing from two different aspects of the collections, merits and collections of wisdom. So therefore, wisdom of a so under cultivating the wisdom of a non-conceptualizing the 3 spheres, which means, for example, when you're going to practice with generosity, for example, the first perfection of generosity and giving, that times, because the 6th perfection we can say aspect according to the of worldly perfection, and according to the 6th perfection according to the of beyond of worldly, or means spur mundane way and spur mundane way. There's 2. So how you can distinguish the 2 difference of this perfection? Because if you apprehending to 3 spheres are truly existent inherently, when you, for example, go into the generosity, you recognize substantially existent the object, subject, the object of generosity, the subject of generosity, and the action of generosity. This is a 3 sphere. If you recognize that is substantially existent or inherently existent, that is worldly practice, because you're missing the perfection wisdom to realization, the nature emptiness and the appearances of the illusion. You believe very much both are 3 spheres truly existent inherently. That is ordinary people's perception. But still you going, as of course, as a virtue is there. But your virtue is only merits, but you lack wisdom. So this virtue can help you next rebirth, the high realm and the rich country or rich family. So for example, this generosity, for example, generosity only. I'm talking now for analogies. But cannot this generosity, even you can give as a, support to so many hundreds, thousands of the poor peoples with compassion and with love. Very good, very virtuous, but cannot lead you directly, cannot lead you into nirvana. This only can directly lead you as a high realm, next rebirth, and rich country, rich family, or so forth. You have become rich at the wealth, wealth person become. And then, not only just generosity with this, but without 3 spheres, here they say, wisdom of non-conceptualizing the 3 spheres, which means is when you go in the post-practice about this generosity, you understand clearly nature is emptiness, better your wisdom mind. Therefore, appearances just reflection, moon and the water, like these 3 spheres. I mean, the 3 spheres appearances like illusion, like illusory. illusorily, because originated by the interdependently object, subject, and actor itself, but not inherently existent the object itself, not inherently existent itself of subject, not existent itself of the activity, cannot, no possible. But how you understand no possible? By your wisdom, the discrimination, wisdom mind we need to understand. So therefore, finally, with this certainty, and then you understand is like illusion. But still, with your compassion, love, and wisdom mind, you can do the generosity. But it's very different than others' generosity, because you see everything's like dream, but other people's everything's true, So it's different. Look, so that means this is the union practice of wisdom and the great method of the 5 perfections. You can practice together in the union. That means at the same time, simultaneously you can collect merits and you can collect wisdom. That means this action can be causes and conditions to achievement your final purpose, benefit yourself of a truth body, Dharmakaya, and benefit others by the form body, the Rupakaya. That is, This just I gave an example analysis on the generosity, but then you can check research same like this way. The moral conduct, the perfection of morality, disciplines again is this. If you have 3 recognitions truly existent inherently, that is worldly moral conduct. So it does only merits, but it's worldly. Can lead you a higher realm, but cannot lead directly in the nirvana. But these 3 recognitions you can recognize as 3 spheres are emptiness or without any means. Here's non-conceptuality, the 3 spheres of the object of a subject and active itself of the morality conduct. That means you can collection merits, wisdom together of your moral conduct perfections. That's become real perfection, beyond of worldly, these perfections. And then same, I'm not going each one, we take the time. So as you need to understand, you can judge to the rest, the perfections with wisdom or without wisdom. With wisdom, and then this lead you Buddhahood. So become causes. Without wisdom, and then lead you higher realm, but not nirvana directly, So therefore, is the very important, both first 5 and the last, the 6th perfections, wisdom. Is the practice of a Bodhisattva. And then, okay, so we have gone the first one of these 4-fold stages, or the conclusion, the percept aspect of the 6 perfections gone. So now we're going the second stages, or second section of these 5 stages during the conclusion practice. So the second is here. We need to avoid one's own misconceptions, better your recognition to the misconception or misdeed action. So let's check how we're going now. If you do not analyze your own faults, you might put dharmic facet while behaving in a non-dharmic way. Therefore, to continuously analyze your faults and then discard them is the practice of a Bodhisattva. This is very, very important whenever, wherever, anytimes when you, the Dharma practitioners, if you do not, because you need to judge, you need to check, you need to research of your motivation, of your activity. But if you do not analyze your own faults, because ordinary people, we like very much to the analysis to others' faults, to find others' faults, but they doesn't like to find one's own faults, Very easy to recognize others' faults, even small, but very difficult to recognize the one's own faults, even very big. That is the problem usually. So therefore, the Mahayana Dharma practitioners, particularly the Mahayana tradition practitioners, you need to judge of your faults, but you not much judge to others' faults. If you do not analyze your own faults, then what happened? You might put on a dharmic facade, while just looks the Dharma practitioners yourself become, but just reflection of Dharma practitioners. Just appears you are really traditioner, appears just showing you are dharmic practitioners, but as actual is not like that pure, not like that authentic, not good like that qualities, not good enough like that, much what appears, because you have with faults, you have with wrong motivation or so forth, have not good qualities, your motivation. So having in a non-dharmic way, that's a danger. Looks like showing is dharmic way, but is the actual is enter into the non-dharmic way. That's danger if you not check enough yourself, your inner motivation, so forth. So therefore, too, continuously analyze one's own faults, your faults, and then when you recognize already there is faults, or when you understand, start to coming faults. No matter already or start, you must be try. If already there, you must be try to avoid or to stop. Yet not, but if approaching to comes, and then you must be try to find the antidote, do not increasing. So, and then discard them. Weeks, months, years, hours, when you Dharma practice first try, your practice is pure or not. You have with faults or without faults. If some faults is there, then try to find the right antidote and discard them. Then you are gradually become very, very beginning is not like that pure practitioners, but if you always judge, check to find analysis of your faults, and then recognize and then change, and then gradually, week, month, year, you are become very beginning ordinaries, and then the end you are become very extraordinary Dharma practitioners become. So therefore, here is the practice of a Bodhisattva. And then the second aspect here, from the verse 32nd, if compelled by your own afflictions, you speak of the faults of other Bodhisattvas, you yourself will degenerate. Therefore, never citing the faults of others who have entered the Mahayana path is the practice of Bodhisattva. So, if compelled by your own afflictions, that is mean your motivation, maybe jealous. Usually, almost is 80% and 90% is ordinary people, something compelling to other, and that is jealous, coming the qualities to others, something. So here is compelled by your own affliction or delusions or attachment, or maybe aversion mind, or maybe harmful thought, harming mind, or anyways like jealous, something, affliction. Use with this motivation, and then you speak of others' faults. This other is of other Bodhisattva, not normal person. Then you have more negative. Even of course, if you talk faults of others is not nice, not good, still you have negatives coming, sometimes if you have no good motivation. But especially if you talk the faults of the Bodhisattva followers, then you have really big negatives. You call coming the problems, for yourself. You lost yourself, the happened problem. Other Bodhisattvas. You yourself will degenerate. The Bodhisattva have no problem. The real the Dharma, the Bodhisattva practitioners have not like that much problem. But you yourself really is big problem. You yourself will degenerate. Because the object of the compelling to the object is very high, holy person. Because he or she is the practitioners of Mahayana. He or she is with the responsibility to benefit all sentient beings with compassion, love, and they want to attitude of Buddhahood, for benefit sentient beings. So this kind of holy person is the object of your the hard wish or the bad word to talk them, or the slanders to them. So therefore, as you have very negative, cultivating the negatives, karmas, or non-merits, you yourself will degenerate. In this life, short life, many problems, many obstacles, uncomfortable feelings, and other people also as they're far away for you, to you, or so forth. But not only that problems. The main degenerate, will you degenerate means big problems, immediate next rebirth, falling in the unfortunate 3 lower realms, in the hell realms. It's a very, very strong negative. Therefore, never setting the faults of those who have entered the Mahayana path. Why here this says enter into those who are on Mahayana path? Because those Mahayana traditional followers very hard to judge, very difficult to do the analysis with faults or without faults. The Mahayana practitioners. The reason why the Bodhisattva's action is, conduct is virtue or non-virtues, you cannot judge from the body and speech appears, but the active action comes from body and speech only, you cannot judge. Because he or her motivation, if you can read he or her motivation, if you have clairvoyance, then you can say he or she is right or misdeed action, right action or wrong action, positive or negative, you can decide it. Otherwise, if you have lacked the clairvoyance, if you can't read others' motivation, then you cannot easy like that, not like that easy to judge, says right or wrong. Because if Hinayana tradition followers only, then not like that difficult to judge. Because Hinayana traditions is like for example the external the Vinaya war holders, and then not very difficult because killing is killing, stealing is stealing, sexual misconduct is sexual misconduct as they have missed it, because this is he or her vow of the Hinayana tradition followers only, for example. So therefore you can see directly is it right or wrong. You can hear directly is it right or wrong, for example. But Mahayana tradition followers, main motivation is pure compassion and love without any hesitations for himself, and then can appears the reflection of negative from body and speech. The first, among the 10 negative actions, the first 7 from body and speech can be sometimes just reflection of negative, but actually is very, very positive, because he is the Mahayana Buddhist practitioners, he or her achieving motivation is totally is pure without any hesitations, but sometimes necessary to showing as a negative action like killing, sometimes necessary to stealing. Bodhisattvas work not always, but happened sometimes necessary. Better wisdom and compassion together, and then sometimes they use this method to benefit other sentient beings. Can be. So how you know that is right or wrong? For example, the Buddha Shakyamuni enter in the path of the Bodhisattva, the Bhumi of Bodhisattva was yet not Buddhahood. That time, so one day he killed. The one story, his story you hear maybe is the compassionate of the Bodhiman, the shepherd. So the Bodhiman, he killed one bad person. Because why he killed this human being? because he was Bodhisattva, already into the bhumi of Bodhisattva, the Bodhiman, the compassionate of the Bodhiman. But why he killed this person? Because he understands this person, if he doesn't care, and then that person, he have planned to prepare to kill more than 500 other peoples of the Mahayana tradition followers, because they are together in the big boat from the ocean, because they bring the many to get the jewels from ocean. It's a weeks, month, long time together. They are together, around 500 people together. But in this, among their 500 people, one is a very bad person, because he want to take all these jewels himself. So therefore he want to kill all these other his companions, in the boat. So now was this the boatman, because boatman no problem, because he is the boatman. If he killed the boatman, then he cannot cross the ocean, Sure, there's ship, must be ship, very important, same his life, same like. But other 500 people will be dead. So he understand the boatman, compassion of the boatman, of the Bodhisattva boatman. So he decided he will kill to this bad person before to kill other 500 peoples. But he himself maybe is falling in the immediate next rebirth and lower realms, and the hell realms, because he killed a human being, because he is a Bodhisattva practitioner. He have the vow, to benefit sentient beings and nobody harming, but he harmed one beings, killed, So maybe perhaps he will be falling in low realms, he was think. But he doesn't care himself. He only take care the 500 people's life and the killer, the bad person, both. Because if you have chance to kill 500 people by this person, and then is of course directly harming 500 people dead, and indirectly himself hurt, is falling immediate next rebirth in the hell realms, because he killed 500 people of Bodhisattva practitioners. There's no questions. So therefore the boatman, he cannot bear. He cannot give this chance, Therefore he want to sip the 500 people's life, and he want to sip the bad person falling immediate next rebirth in the hell realms. He doesn't care himself. So he killed. So look, this is a very, very good analogies, the examples, Because if you want to judge others' actions, says, oh, that's good, that's bad, then I'm sure when you saw this, you say, oh, that's very bad. This person, the boatman, is very bad because he killed someone. That is your recognition, That is what you understand. But you totally misunderstand, because you lack clairvoyance. You cannot read his motivation. You don't know all the detailed situations. You only know he killed one person. That's why you recognize this boatman is very bad. Then you compelling says, oh, he is very bad. But actually you compelling to really compassionate one, the Bodhisattva. He saved so many 500 people and saved this person falling low realms. But you doesn't know this, So this kind of negative action killing is just reflection, negative killing from body. But actual is positive, but very big positive. He accumulated was more than during 39, representing this killing. The merits is represented to marry 40,000 kalpas. Accumulation, him accumulated merits during more than the 40,000 kalpas. He killed this person, So the actual is virtue. That's just example. So like this way, in the Mahayana tradition, Bodhisattva practitioners, you can say, oh, very bad, he going to kill. You can say, very bad, he stealing. You can say, oh, he is very bad, he doing this sexual misconduct, so forth. Maybe true, maybe not, because you can judge his or her motivation. That is, this is and therefore, you yourself would degenerate it. That's the problem. Therefore, never setting the faults of those who have entered into the Mahayana path is the practice of Bodhisattvas. And then one more we go, and the verse of 33rd.
So this is just avoiding the attachment to the householder of friends and relatives and the donors of the Mahayana practitioners. So because here we see the faults, desire for gain and the service lead to mutually the mutual arguments, argument and activities of listening, reflecting, and meditating decline. So to the relinquish attachment to the householder of friend, relatives, and donors is the practice of Bodhisattva, because if you too much desire attachment to for gain, your purpose is to gaining or to fund some the possessions, monies, food, cloth, or the respect or the service from your friend or from your sponsor. That is your main motivation, why you over and over contact to them, over and over you visit to them or something, is and that is, if your main motivation is as the desire only, then that is wrong, because what problems lead to mutual arguments, mutually each other, the problems coming, because then jealous is coming, because what he needed, he want to fund from them, and then sponsor maybe his friend or some that offer to the others, worships to others, or maybe is a server to others, then he or she is angry or jealous, happened. Then fighting between these two difference and between the even sponsor, so forth, It's happened. This kind in the world, you can see many stories happened. But if you have no desire, no attachment with the pure motivation, and then fine, because they have no problem any. Otherwise, you are very opening, very vast. Your mind is very, and then it's fine. But if not, you are very narrow.